Good afternoon. I'd like to call the September 9th, 2025 meeting on the City of Charleston Committee on Ways and Means to order. I'll start by asking Councilmember Appel to provide the invocation.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So today is September 9th. 2 days we'll be celebrating, or not celebrating, the opposite of celebrating, commemorating the 24th anniversary of 9/11. I remember where I was when 9/11 happened. I was sitting in Miss Rooney's math class at Bishop England. Here we are at Bishop Gadsden, so we're at a little bit of so I would just ask that everybody keep in mind all the folks that lost their lives and were injured, those that continue to suffer from health-related issues, and then all of our first responders that put their lives on the line every day. Police, fire, EMS, everybody that's out there working for the benefit of the public. So with that, let's maybe reflect on a moment of silence. Thanks. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Councilmember Appel. Item number 2 on the agenda, approval of the minutes from August 19th, 2025. Move for approval. Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 3, Chief Policy Officer.
Mr. Chairman, if I
Yes, sir.
may, I'd like to ask that we take items 3, 4, and 5 together.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to take items 3, 4, and 5 together. Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on these? Is that to take these items together and for approval?
I'll do for approval too, and happy to discuss.
All right, so just for the community and so everybody knows what we're doing here, this is releasing funds for $1 million towards the city's cost share in partnership with the Army Corps of Engineers and the Tidal and Inland Flood Risk Management Study. And then council's approved for an additional $2.4 million in matching funds. Additional item is the 5th amendment to contract between the city and Black and Beach in the amount of $1,990,000 for additional planning and engineering for the battery extension. And then the other item is authorization for the mayor to execute the design agreement in the amount of $500,000 with the Army Corps of Engineers for pre-construction engineering and design of the battery extension project. Councilmember Mitchell, your mic just went off.
So kind of explain for the community why, so they know exactly what's going on in spending all this money.
Sure. So all 3 of these things have to do with the partnership that we have with the Army Corps of Engineers. There are actually 2 programs that we're working with the Army Corps on where all of it relates to flooding. One is a tidal and inland flooding study, which is flooding all across the city of Charleston, James Island, Johns Island, all of West Ashley, and even Daniel Island, as well as the peninsula. But then the perimeter protection study, which we call the battery extension because of what we're working on with the Army Corps to marry form and function on that piece of infrastructure, is a separate study. But again, all of it, the Corps would provide the majority of funding if we're able to get these things designed and approved. So this is just taking the next step. A lot of these funds have already been allocated or budgeted in the 2024 and 25 budget. There will be another allocation for it coming up in 26, being requested in 26. And in the aggregate, those will get us to a place on whether or not we can move forward in a constructive way with detailed drawings. So a lot of public input will be going into these. Councilman Seekings and Councilman Waring and I just went last week up to Washington, D.C., where we met with the head of the Army Corps of Engineers. I, at least from my perspective, felt like it was an incredibly productive meeting. The Army Corps is excited to work with us on this, and more importantly, excited to listen to our design concerns. And most importantly, I would say excited to figure out ways to expedite this process.
Councilman Seekins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple things just to back off what the mayor said. I think it's important for those out there looking at this that on our agenda, what we're voting on, particularly on number 5, but on number 4 as well, is monies to be allocated towards the alignment and design of a battery extension project. And that's the first time we've used that nomenclature in the last 6 years, which is music, I think, to all of our hearts, because the whole idea of what we're going to do is extending the low battery to match form and function, as the mayor said. And as we were at the Army Corps of Engineers on Friday morning, one of the things that struck me is how they now refer to this project as well. And actually, Major General Kelly, while we were there and as we were leaving, recognized that we are now going to work on the battery extension project, and also recognize that we tonight are allocating monies back to Black and Beach. We're looking at alignment and design, and they will be part and parcel of the team going forward. So it's a incredible shift in thinking and looking at perimeter protection, water management, not just on the peninsula, but throughout the city. It's come a long way, and I will say I agree with the mayor, and I think Councilmember Waring will chime in too. The meeting with the Army Corps was very positive. General was listening. He was well educated about what was going on here and recognizes that this needs to be a true partnership. And I think by voting in favor of this tonight, we will have the beginning of that partnership. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Ware.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I couldn't agree more. That trip was a game changer. It was Councilman Pell approach on a lot of things. It was clear that the general had his team there, and they were willing to work as a team with the city of Charleston. We've seen the pictures in the paper with the big unattractive wall that's twice the size of a human being. We couldn't imagine that going around the city of Charleston. The general gets that. Coming down to look at what we've done is going to be a priority. Coming down to look at what the raised battery wall looks like today. He also knows that we are all on the same page. Frankly, 3-4 years ago, we were divided. There wasn't a holistic approach towards drainage. Answers for James Island, answers for Johns Island, answers West Ashley. It was us against them. Peninsula is more important from an economic standpoint, so the remainder of the city has to wait. We are now all it's a term that we need. I'm gonna steal it today anyways. In a holistic manner. I can't tell you, but we do that. When I mean we, and Councilmember Seeking said it, we is the broad firm, City of Charleston. That's a good. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks. Any other discussion on this item? We should also note that these items were also unanimously in Public Works Utilities Committee on August 8th. All those in favor, please signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay. And I'd like to explain.
Yes.
Well, I do appreciate and expect that this new direction that this is heading, I do believe I abstained. I personally still have not received enough information about the product, the progress or what is being planned with this additional funding from where we were before to where we're. So,
Was that a nay on all three?
yes.
Okay, moving forward, item number 6, this is request approval to authorize the mayor to sign an agreement with Increasing Hope to provide the financial counseling services of the Financial Empowerment Center. City will pay Hope a maximum $400,000. Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on this item? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 7 is approval of the municipal operations complex change order number 5 with Edifice in the amount of $4,557,210. This is moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Item number 8 is approval to apply to the South Carolina Rural Infrastructure Authority requesting $1.5 million for the construction phase of the Central Park Drainage Improvement Project. This will require a 75-25 city match of $500,000. This is being brought forward because the grant application is due by September 15th. Had a motion and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Item number 9, this is request approval of Cumberland Concord Outfall Installation Project, change order number 1 with Trellis Construction, $15,750. Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 10 is Police Department approval to accept an award for the South Carolina Department of Public Safety Science Grant, $81,467. Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 11 is the third amendment to option to lease the Grove on Johns Island. Oh, this is being brought forward to Ways and Means Board of the state. We have a motion. Second. Any discussion on this one? All right, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 12 is the approval of the 2025
If I could take.
City of Charleston holiday budget. We have a.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion to defer this.
All right.
So this, I've asked for this to be put on there. What we're looking to do is allocate some funds. Traditionally, the holiday decorations for the city of Charleston have been largely centered on the peninsula. And there are plenty of opportunities and locations around the city to expand that. But it takes some organization, it takes some community involvement, it takes some volunteers, some heavy lifting to go on there and figure out what each part of the city might want in terms of holiday decorations. And so while it's only September, Christmas is far away, you need to be way ahead of this stuff. And so as it turns out, we're not going to be able to get organized enough in order to procure enough lead time to do this. But let me just explain what the goal is here, generally speaking, because I do want community's input and certainly council members' input. The idea is that we would expand holiday decorations across the city, not ostentatious over the top, but make sure that every part of the city is represented along with the peninsula as well. And making sure that the infrastructure is put in, we have buying power year over year to make sure what we do is consistent and something that the community gets excited about. It will take initially an investment from the city to do this, to make this a reality, but the goal is ultimately to have sponsorships from the private sector to come in and do this year over year. So this wouldn't be a burden on the city, but it would be something that the community can lean in and give money to, give back. So I think it's a really exciting opportunity. I apologize for not being organized about it. That's on me. We've just been very busy on a lot of things, but I do think this will be a really cool opportunity. So look for some initial budget in the 26 budget, and we'll look for engagement and involvement from all council members and any interested members of the public on helping to figure out details on it. So with that, I ask that this please be deferred. We're going to get a little bit more. So right now, we have approximately $75,000 that is allocated towards Office Cultural Affairs, and there can be applications for other things that go towards that, and it's not just holiday budget, it's kind of all festivals. not all festivals. But like last year, for example, for the wreaths and that sort of thing, we spent about $35,000 in total. D was the number. This would be elevating that pretty significantly, expanding it again around, then ultimately, hopefully paying less than that net to the city by having private.
So we'll continue to.
We'll continue to do what we've been doing, but it will.
Yeah, I just want to add that, and obviously this is the Ways and Means Committee where we would be doing this kind of thing, but it's tempting to look at government as a balance sheet, right? Money being spent, as we were talking about with flooding, money being spent here, it's not being spent there. I think the lived experience of everybody, at least since the pandemic, should quite clearly reveal that we have lost some sense of community. And that is a shame. I'm not sure I can express it in the words that I want to here. We lose some connection to each other and start seeing each other as something other than our neighbors and members of our community. And so money that goes into something like this, where we work hard all year and, in the holidays is a sort of frenzied time where we're working even harder to finish out, whatever bonuses we have or whatever else, right? Not to mention buying stuff for our families and, just the rush of it, but to stop and just feel some sense of community is worth the money that we would devote to this. So, even if it's not going to quite be there this year, I want to thank Mayor for bringing this up. I think it's just a critically important thing to do for the city, just to build that sense of community back up.
Member Cup.
Real quickly, Ms. Cook, what is our city council member travel stipend per council member per year?
For each council member, it is 4,000.
Would it be possible to do some financial arithmetic and gymnastics here to move, say, $4,000 over to the holiday fund? Hey, look, four.
Third, four. There we go. Going once.
Just put one menorah up somewhere. That's my only request.
I think we're still gonna work on it. I mean, really what we ran into was an issue on having to order the lights by a certain time. And so it's just, like a lot of things are back ordered and it's uncertainty. So, we've missed part of the window, but Councilman Bowden, you make a great point. That's the real purpose behind this. And not only does that, I think, bring community together, but I think bringing in private sector too, to really help lean in here, I think will be a community building. So that's the gist of it. And I'm in for the extra 4,000.
But, Mr. Chairman,
Councilmember Gregory.
actually it's more than 4,000. We also get what, 2,500? Do
That's
whatever.
Correct. I think it's
To
26.
put into our communities.
Yes, sir.
So that's 6,500. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, well, I guess, we've got a motion on the floor from the mayor for deferral.
Second.
We have a second. I guess we'll talk to Ms. Wharton about how to reallocate our city council funds to the holiday budget. But not right now. Okay, motion and a second for deferral. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. And with that, we stand adjourned.